This weekend at the North American box office, the Disney Pixar animated film Inside Out came in third place with a take of $21.7 million. Coming in second, the blockbuster Jurassic World. It's losing steam, though, only bringing in $23 million this weekend. And...
do you know who this is?
La cucaracha?
This is Queen Elizabeth, ruler of England.
the new #1 is Minions, the third installment in the Despicable Me franchise. The film had the second highest ever opening for an animated film. It brought in over $146 million. Second highest ever for an animated film. Jason Gorber, a critic with Twitchvision.com. He's in Toronto. Quickly remind us, if you will, what was the #1 animated film? If you don't mind me putting you on the spot, Jason.
I don't actually know.
Good, okay. Fair enough.
It might actually, it is either How to Train Your Dragon or Claudia with Chance of Meatballs, but I bet it's one of those. I don't know, you totally put me on the spot.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. The devil just clutched my throat there, and I just... Let's talk about something.
I should be an expert. Well, I'll tell you what kind of expert I was. So I skipped the Minions screening to go see Batkid, this crazy documentary.
Yeah, tell us about that. This is based, well, it was part of a social media thing that 2 years ago, part of a Make-A-Wish Foundation project, and very successful, too.
Exactly. So Make-A-Wish sort of put together, you know, they work with kids who suffer some sort of ailment, and the kids get to make a wish. And Make-A-Wish Foundation sort of brings it all together, and this kid wanted to be Batman. And so he put it out as like, I want to be Batman. And the entire community came together. It became a social media explosion, and all this wonderful stuff happened. We've just basically told the whole story. And this actually leads to something really important, I think. I think that the documentary does a very good job at reminding people about the notion of charity, about helping out kids, about where this is, but it doesn't come together as a movie. And when we look at documentaries, so often we get lost in how important the story is and forget how it actually works as a film. This is a story, this is a narrative, which is very important, but the film doesn't ask any of the really interesting questions. It doesn't have to delve in, it doesn't have to get all sort of super serious, but it feels very much like a commercial for this event, which is fine because it's charitable and we should feel good that the kid who had cancer gets to be Batman, but as a cinematic experience, it doesn't really work.
Let's talk about the independent film Tangerine. It's also this week.
Yeah, so here's one that actually completely works. I saw this back at Sundance, and there's a couple things remarkable about it. First of all, there's it's essentially a story of a bunch of people in Los Angeles. The couple leads are these transgender actors who are fantastic, but what's generating a lot of buzz is not only the amazing performances, but if you look at the visuals that are just on the box on the other side, the whole film was shot on an iPhone with a special lens that they attached to it. This film looks stunning, and it really shows that even with a tiny little camera, you can make things look very beautiful, but if you add in a really compelling story, some tremendous performers, a mix of sort of well-known name performers and some first-timers, you can get something that's really, really fantastic. In terms of the indie film to look out for, this is one definitely that you want to sort of sink your teeth into.
And here's also another movie that I'm hoping to sink my movie-going dollars into, is Amy Winehouse's movie about her life.
Yeah, Amy's an extraordinary documentary as well. We're getting sort of some tremendous rock docs, as it were. And this is a documentary by the gentleman who made Senna. Senna was an incredible documentary about Formula One legend, and even if you didn't care about Formula One, you really got something amazing out of the documentary. Amy does something very similar. Even if you're not particularly a fan of her work, it is a truly moving tale of a young girl who got caught up in all this stuff. We all know how it ends. We know that she dies. We know that she overdoses. We know the sort of tragic ending, but what the film does is really humanizes her in a pretty amazing way, and it's, again, beautifully cinematic. It's a film. It is something to experience theatrically that tells a really strong and engaging story with some fantastic performances, some great interview settings, and it's one of these really, really strong films, definitely to check out.
Jason Gorber, thanks very much for this. By the way, Shrek 3 is the answer to our trivia quest. Question at the top, highest ever opening for an animated film.
I will never forget that.
Film critic Jason Gorber.
All the best.
Follow Jason on Twitter at Filmfest_CA. Take care, Jason.
Thanks so much.